Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. In today's video we are getting sassy, we are getting sexy, and we are getting vampy in this sultry vampire makeup tutorial, so I hope y'all enjoy. Starting off with my Wonder 2 primer, which is upside down lol, and going into my Zoeva palette, I am prepping my eyes, priming and just setting that all into place, and I'm going to be whizzing through this just so you guys know I'm going into this nice warm colour just as a transition shade, and then I am... For some reason I couldn't stay in a shot. I'm basically warming up the crease with all of these colours, and then I'm going in to do a little bit of a kind of halo eye. So I'm building the colours up. It's pretty self-explanatory what I'm doing, but I'm just building up the colours on the outer and inner corner, just leaving the lid space blank. Then taking this lighter shade from the Zoeva matte palette to highlight my brow bone, and sometimes the colours can completely bleed into the brow, so I'm just separating that. Then dipping into my Naked Urban Decay all matte palette and just focusing on the outer and inner corners, again just really building up that halo eye and blending it all out. I do apologise, I'm dipping into so many different palettes in this, but just kind of work with what you can. This is just what I wanted to use to get the colours right. I've done this a couple times, just building it up, and then I'm going into my Zoeva Warm Spectrum palette. This is the best black I've ever used, so that's why I always go back to it. Doing the same again, just building them up and building the colours up slowly, blending them all out so you get that really nice, sultry, sassy look going on. And then I'm going back into that pencil brush just to warm up the crease even more. And once I've done that, just continuing to blend everything out as per, and then I'm taking my Maybelline 24-hour colour tattoo, just putting that all over the centre of the eye, and kind of look up a bit when you do this as well, just to make sure you've actually got the central point, because it's going to be a bit different on everyone's eye. But I'm doing that, and then I'm taking this nice reddy colour from my Anastasia Beverly Hills a Modern Renaissance palette, packing that all onto the lid, and then once I've done that, I'm going into another orangey reddy colour from the Zoeva matte palette just to make sure that is a nice pop of colour, and then going back into the black to accentuate those colours again and make sure that we've still got that definite halo and that definition and that nice blend. And of course we are blending it all together, and then once we've done that, I'm just basically touching up, and I'll do this quite a few times, but if I showed you the video it'd be 17 years long, so I'm just building up the colours. Just keep going until you get the blend and the look that you like, but honestly if you're doing it about 4 or 5 times, that's normal. Continuing that and then adding that light plummy shade to the lid, and then I am tightlining my top and bottom waterline, adding mascara, and then also popping on some lashes, and these are really nice and fluttery and big. And I've already done my skin, so these are the products I used on my skin, and then this is the concealer, and I set it all into place with my RCMA No Colour powder. Then I just took my sponge and softened any sharp edges around the eye so that it kept it as a nice round shape. Then under the eye, I'm basically taking the colours that I used on top of the eyes, using the transition shade and blending it all. And then once I've done that, I'm going into the black and replicating what we've done on the eye, focusing on the inner and outer corner, just to make sure that we have got the kind of same effect on the top and the bottom. And again, blending and building up quite a lot, because you know you kind of had a bad day and you kind of died, so you just want to make sure that you're really building that up and making it look, you know, don't be afraid to just go all out. And I'm then taking some of the red in the central part, just a little bit, and then blending it all and really blend it into the inner corners, because that's going to give you that sultry look. Now I'm going on to contouring, and I'm taking my Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer. I'm really contouring my nose, and then just I've got a really small little blending brush so I can get really precisely into those areas to contour, because we need to be really chiseled and have those real like kind of sunken features. So I'm just doing that to start with. And then I am going into this colour from the Zoeva palette. I wasn't quite sure, so I tapped a lot off, and it is quite scary, so be bold, you can do it. But we're just building the colours up slowly, and it takes time, it really does. Then I go into my Wet n Wild contouring kit and just blending that out with a normal contour colour, and just kind of doing a little bit of a regular contour if you like. But honestly, I was contouring for days. And then I'm going into the grey from my Zoeva Warm Spectrum palette, which is just, it doesn't feel natural, but I'm building that up and then blending it out with the normal contour. So I'm kind of taking a darker colour and then blending it out with your regular bronzer, just so you remain, it just kind of looks as fairly blended and kind of natural-ish as it can. And then I'm taking that grey shade right up into kind of onto my temples just to really blend, and you can see what I'm doing. Just keep on blending until you've got it as you like. And I took a bigger fluffy brush just to blend that all together even more. And then I went in with the brushes that I used on the eyes, but I didn't have any additional product. I just used what was already on there, and then I blended it right down from the inner corner, brought that down onto my nose, as that kind of helps everything tie in nicely as well. Oh, here she goes, there she is, nice and sassy. Oh yeah. And just, you know, blending everything. And I took this colour from Makeup Forever as well, just added that as a little pop of colour again on the eye, and just sharpened up the contour. And you know, she's still going. So I thought, why not put a tiny little bit of highlights on? So I did that with my Makeup Revolution highlighter. And then I wanted to plump up them lips, so I used my Wonder Kiss lip plumping gloss. And then I left that for a couple mins, and then I just took it all off. Before I did my lips, I just wanted to make sure that I had a bit of a blank canvas, so I just used my sponge to do that. And then I went in to line my lips, and yeah, just lined it away. And then once I'd lined them, I started to fill them in slightly, but focusing this kind of mainly on the inner corners of the lips, as we were doing a little bit of an ombre effect. And then I went in with my Sleek Matte Me, and I'd put that all over the lip to start with. And then once I had done that, I wanted to just really focus it on the inner corners and just make sure, again, that we were getting that nice ombre effect. So that's what I did. After that, I went in with my NYX Liquid Suede, which is just a slightly lighter and slightly different toned. It's more of a kind of brownie undertone, I believe, whereas the other one's more berry. Just put that in the centre of my lips and just use my finger to dab it. And then went in with the NYX Matte Me, just on a little lip brush to kind of tidy up and add anything that I needed to. And then after I'd done that, I touched it up with concealer around the outside. Then we are going to work on these collarbones. So I'm taking that grey again and I'm just sculpting them really. Now I'd never done this before, so I was winging it, and basically I'm just going in with these dark colours, these dark greys, and just contouring out the hollows of my collarbones, and then the little bit in your neck as well, and then just blending it all together. You're dead, remember? And oh goodness me, help me, this is the bit. Yep, okay, these teeth, we need to talk about these teeth. These are amazing, but honestly they took so long to do, and you can kind of see the glue a little bit, so just be aware they take time to put on, but you can clip them on and off and it works really well. They are awesome. So now moving on to the bite marks. I actually had a spot that I covered up, so I thought that was quite a good tactic. So I used the lip liner first to mark out where I wanted them to go, and then I just used the brush with no additional product on just to blend it all out and to make them look a little bit bruised, and just continued with the blending brushes that we used before. And here we go. I'd never used this blood before, okay? I did a few tests, as you can see my thumb is stained, but I basically just did a huge dollop and I hoped that it would naturally fall, and that's kind of what happened, kind of. So I just kind of left it, and then I didn't know what to do on my mouth, so I did the same thing, used the lip liner, and then used the brushes to make it look kind of bruised, and you know, you're battered, aren't you? You've had a rough night. And then again, blended it all down, and just, did the same thing again, put a big old dollop on, and hoped that it would fall. So I kind of moved my head around and kind of opened my mouth a bit and tried to get it to fall down, which it kind of did in the end. And this actually did dry like a gel after a while, so it did dry, which I was surprised, and I kind of just could peel it off. But anyway, in the end, that's kind of what I did. Get creative, you know, have a bit of fun with it. And it doesn't have to be too perfect either. None of this does, so, which is a bonus. And then I wanted to do some more, wanted to add a little bit more, so I did a couple more bite marks on the side and just again let them drip. But I thought that it didn't really look right, so I just let it drip like that. That's what I was doing, leaning forward. So I thought I would just add another one and make it into a scratch, because, you know, this is one hell of a night you've had. And I just use a little brush to kind of drag it down and make it look a little bit more like a scratch. But like I said, I have never done this before. I was literally just playing around and having a bit of fun. So just be creative and see what you can come up with, because, you know, oh, it's so much fun. I love Halloween, as you guys know. I say it every year. My birthday is the day after Halloween, so that's why I always just love having fun with it. And yeah, there I was just adding some extra kind of battle marks. But yeah, that's why I just love having fun and getting all dressed up and being creative. I love seeing what everyone does. So that is the finished look. It is really nice and sultry and sassy, and I hope you guys like it. If you do recreate it or have any looks that you do, send them to me on social media and I will have a look. Have a great Halloween. Please hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. Give this video a like for more videos like this in the future, and I will see you in my next one. Bye!